Welcome to the Mind Body Connection Summit, where we're here to help you to bridge the gap between the mind and body to live a better, healthier life. And so I have excited to introduce our next speaker today, which is Qatar El Alawi. And she is a multi-award-winning cultural transformation facilitator and purpose guide. So Qatar, you have the stage, and we will share your free gift when you're done speaking. You'll have 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock.
Thank you, Linda, and thank you for having me on the summit. I'm really excited to be here and share a little bit about my journey and what I've learned in this journey of understanding how the mind and body are connected and why it's important to recognize that. So my journey with this started about, I think, 18-20 years ago. So it kind of dates back a while now. I was dealing with trauma and with anxiety, and I wasn't able to break through it. I was trying therapy, I was trying several modalities. And then at one point, I started to explore a little bit of the healing modalities beyond just therapy. And I was exposed to the work of Dr. Gabor Mate around trauma and his earlier book, When the Body Says No, which really explains the stress and how it impacts our bodies. And then the work of Dr. Peter Levine about trauma, and recognizing that emotions, as we go through life's experiences, get stuck in our body. And eventually the emotion and the thought become a sort of a trauma loop that whenever an experience gets triggered, we get stuck and we're not able to break through. And I had done a lot of mindset work. And so mindset work was helping, but then there's a time where when the emotion is so deeply ingrained or the experience has been relived and the trauma loop has been so practiced in our neural pathways, it gets really difficult to go deeper. And so when I started to train as a coach, I learned about the wisdom of the body. The coaching methodology I was trained in talks about the wisdom of the body and about honoring the messages that our body's trying to share with us. Because our body holds on to all the experiences we go through. And what we call pain is actually the body trying to share with us what's going on with it. It's trying to communicate with us. But we don't necessarily have the language or the understanding that that's what's happening. And so today I want to share a really simple way that can sound simplistic, but it's really powerful. To start to communicate with our bodies, to start to recognize that our bodies have infinite wisdom, and recognizing the mind-body connection helps us move beyond the mindset work into the deeper inner work that can really release deeply held pain and deeply held trauma. And the way that I want to talk about it is essentially it's a two-step process. Now, a lot of us, sort of like what you said, Linda, or what you alluded to, when we feel pain, the tendency can be to want to not feel it, or to step out of it, or to ignore it, or to reject it. And so the way to stop identifying with it is to recognize I am not the pain. My body's experiencing pain right now, and to really use our breath to ground ourselves, to even use meditation sometimes to bring us into what I call the neutral observer, to strengthen our inner observer and start to notice what's happening in our bodies and recognize that sensations are our body's language. And so we really strengthen that inner observer. We're able to notice what's happening with our bodies as a first step. And that in itself can be a practice that can take months depending on the intensity of the pain. For myself, I had chronic pain for a decade, and I was on medication for it. And on the journey of stopping the medication, I had to sit through moments of deep, intense pain and practicing in my own neural pathways the rewiring of saying, I am not the pain. The pain is here, but I am not the pain. And asking the pain, this is the second step, is asking, what are you telling me? What is your message? And it can be as simple as tension in our shoulders and as deep as a generational trauma that we don't even know happened in our family. But when we really strengthen that ability internally to observe what's happening and to listen to the story that our body is willing to share with us without judging it, it really starts to open a beautiful doorway to our body having a collaboration with us in creating a better life, in leading better, in speaking our intuition from that really grounded place. And so that's what I wanted to share with you. And I see that my time is up. So I want to say thank you so much.
Oh, that was perfect. I love it. Again, we're getting a lot of those, those hearts are just flying over on Facebook. So you Facebook people, thank you so much for tuning in, and please hit that share button, because there are people out there who need to hear these messages. You're flying those hearts up there for a reason, because you're loving this. And so we even have, comments here up, up here on Facebook, loving this share, listen to your story, your body is telling you. I wrote down, pain equals communication. So when we're experiencing pain, that's a way our body is communicating with us, and then for us to go listen to it. And then there was something else you said, difficult to go deep. Going deep means, going deep, sometimes it creates resistance within us, right? Because we don't want to experience that future, whatever it is that we're perceiving is going to happen. And, thank you for those 2 steps that you gave as well. So I'm loving this. I'm loving what you have to share. And I want to ask you a little bit about your free gift. You have a life upgrade wheel, which is the first step to look at one's life holistically and recognize how to direct your energy to optimize your healing journey. So share with us what that is. You can get your copy at actiontakerspublishing.com/summit dashboard. Go over there and get your copy of that. But share with us a little bit about the life upgrade wheel, and why should I go click on that link and get that?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Linda. The Life Upgrade Wheel is essentially a tool to support you to look at your life holistically. Sometimes we think what's happening in one area of our lives isn't connected to something else. But the reason we're not breaking through is that we're looking at the problem from a different angle, not necessarily the angle that's going to help us release the real resistance. And so it can be a problem in, speaking our voice, for example. But in fact, again, it's something that's held so far back, and then it's impacting our income. And when we release that trauma, then, we unlock the income piece. And so this is a tool that helps you look at a 360-degree of your life and see, where is it that I need to put my energy the most? I really like doing inner work in a way that's efficient. And this is kind of what I've learned in the last 10 years coming together to give you the best place to start, in my opinion.
I love it. Yeah, go get your copy on, go to download it at actiontakerspublishing.com/summit dashboard. And what I immediately envisioned in my mind is, that game where you move the pieces around until finally you have that one piece that makes sense. That's kind of what came to mind with me when you were sharing that. But thank you so much for being part of this summit and sharing your experience, your expertise with us. And I truly appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. Do that. Hold on just a second while I get my act together over here.